To start, we're going to do a slip knot. Hold onto the end of your yarn and wrap it around your index finger and turn your finger to the front, sort of making an X shape. Again to the front, then release it slowly while keeping the shape. Now take the working yarn and put it on top. From the back, pull it to make a slip knot. Now just insert your hook through the loop and tighten it up. Now you need to make 17 chains, so just yarn over and pull through the loop. Like so. So now just continue until you have a total of 17 chains. Now I have 3 chains, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 17 chains with me. Now this is our first chain and this is our second chain. From the second chain, you're going to start inserting 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you will have to make a total of 16 single crochet. So how you're going to be inserting your hook to make the single crochet is, you can see the V shape right here, and when you turn your chain to the back, there is some sort of bumps running down the chains. Here's a bump, the next stitch bump, and so on. So first, insert your hook into the top part of the V, then turn the chains and insert your hook through the back bump. This is so that when we make our single crochet, there won't be any hole at the bottom. Now let's start with our crochet hook. So insert your hook into the second chain. Don't forget the top part of the V shape and the back bump. So you have 3 loops on your hook. And now yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops first, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So that is how you're going to do a single crochet. So now you're going to continue the same step and make 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down. So it is a little tricky to get into the back bump, so what I usually do is I use my fingernails to insert the back bump into my hook. So go ahead and insert 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of this round, and you will have to make a total of 16 single crochet. So I will see you once you're done. I am done with round 1. Now moving on to round 2. First, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work to the back. So this is our chain 1 and it won't count as our first stitch. Instead, this is going to be our first stitch. Also, I'll be working over the end with me so I don't have to weave it in later. So in the first stitch, insert 1 single crochet. So insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through 2. Continue inserting 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end. Again, the total of stitches that you should have is 16 single crochet. This is my second single crochet. 3, 4. So I'm going to cut the end because I feel like I already carried it enough and it's getting on my way. So just continue inserting 1 single crochet until the end of this round. So now all you need to do is just repeat this step for round 2 until you reach round 41. So I'll see you once you are done until round 41. So I'm going to teach you how to count the rows so you know when you reach round 41. So how you count it depends on which side the loop is on. So in order for it to be the same side as mine, you need the loop to be on the right side and position it on top like this. We're going to start counting from the bottom as that is our first round because the one that has a loop is our round 41. You will notice that we have these horizontal lines or strands, right? You can see it here, here, and here. Then we also have a den here, or the part where we don't have a horizontal strands. So you're going to count it in an order of den, horizontal, and so on. So this one is the first row, then the horizontal strands is the second row, then a den, 3, and another horizontal strands, 4, then a den, 5. So just count it like this to make sure you have 41 rows with you. I'm going to measure the width so it can act as a guide for you. So the width is going to be around 9.5 centimeters. And the length is 23 centimeters. Now, moving on to round 43, we're going to insert single crochet in each stitch all around the base. And we have to make sure that at the end, we will have 112 single crochet. This part is really important because the number of stitches is what going to help us make the diamond pattern. So you will have to count your stitches as you make the single crochet. So I have here with me the shape of our base that we just made. So I'm going to label the size and categorize it with their measurements. So this one is A. Then this one is going to be B. So for S side, you're going to make sure you insert 1 single crochet in each stitch and the total number must be 40 single crochet. Then for the B side, again insert 1 single crochet in each stitch, but make sure that the total number for that side is 16 single crochet. If you add all these numbers, you will get 112 stitches. I categorize it this way so that it's easy for you to understand, and I really hope I made some sense. To start round 43, first chain 1. As I said, we're going to insert 1 single crochet all around. You will insert the single crochet by following the horizontal strand and then as your guide. So how you're going to insert the single crochet, you can see the horizontal line, so that is your first single crochet. Then following the then, you're going to insert the second single crochet right here, then horizontal strand, third single crochet right here, and so on. Now we are working on the S side, and starting from here, you will have to make sure you make a total of 40 single crochet. You will need to mark the first stitch so that we know when each round starts and ends. Then just continue inserting your single crochet all the way down. So now I'm making the second single crochet. Now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am now making my last stitch. Now I have 40 single crochet for the first S side. Now we will start making 16 single crochet on the B side. The stitches is a little different than the rest as we insert our hook through the upper loop and the back bump on the first round. So that is where you're going to insert your single crochet. I'm going to show you with my darning needle. So the first stitch is going to be a little hidden, so make sure you don't skip it. It is right here. Then this is going to be your second stitch, your third stitch, fourth stitch, and so on. Now just insert your hook into the first stitch and make 1 single crochet. So 1, and then that is the second stitch, 2, 3, 4, 14, 15, and 16. So I've done 40 single crochet on the S side and 16 single crochet on the B side. So we're going to repeat the same thing for this side. This is going to be the same as the S side. I am done with the S side and now I am on the second B side. This is going to be the same step, just that your stitches look like a V. So just insert your hook through the V shape and make 1 single crochet. So continue inserting 1 single crochet until you made a total of 16 single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, and 16. So these are chain 1, so we're going to ignore that. Now remove your stitch marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch of this round. This is how your base should look like at the end. We're finally going to make the diamond pattern, so you will need this pattern that I made and I have provided it to you in the description box. I will be referencing this chart as I make the pattern, but if you don't want to use this chart, it's also fine because I will still write out the pattern for you on the screen. I'm going to explain what each color and number means. So the blue box is your first stitch and the number in the blue box is the number of round you're in or rows. So blue box number 1 is your round 1 and that is your first stitch. Then blue box number 2 is your round 2 and it is your first stitch for round 2. So whenever you're making the first stitch of the round, you will either chain 3 or make a fake double crochet. Then the boxes with pink color is where you're going to make a double crochet and the white color is where you're going to chain 1 and skip. Then the number at the bottom is the number of stitches. So for example, on round 1 of making the pattern, this is your first stitch. So in the first stitch, which is in the blue box, so chain 3 or make a fake double crochet. Then in the next stitch, which is number 2, it's in pink color, so make 1 double crochet. Then it's the same again in the next stitch. Then in the next stitch, which is our fourth stitch, it's in white color, which means you're going to chain 1 and skip. Now on the right, this is going to be your last few stitches because the blue box is our first stitch, so obviously this is going to be your last 5 stitches of the round. Now we're going to do this together so that you understand the pattern more. This is going to be our first stitch, so we will do a chain 3 or a fake double crochet. So you can choose which method you prefer, but I recommend that you do the fake double crochet as it is so much more neater this way. The first method, just chain 3 and you will just skip the first stitch as the chain 3 acts as your first double crochet. Then continue making the second stitch. The second method, you will pull the loop on your hook to lengthen it up. Then you have to hold onto the loop, making sure it doesn't move. Then yarn over the loop and insert it through the first stitch. Oh, and this is what happens if you let go of the loop, so make sure you really hold onto it. Now let's do it again. Hold onto the loop and yarn over the loop and insert it into the first stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now you can let go of it. Then again, pull through 2. Now take your stitch marker and mark the first stitch. On the second and third stitch, it is in a pink color, so we have to insert 1 double crochet in each stitch. So we basically have to make 2 double crochet. Now let's insert 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So 1, and that is the double crochet for the second stitch according to the chart that is in the pink color. And now let's make 1 double crochet again into the third stitch. We have 1, 2, and 3 double crochet, and according to the chart we also have 3 double crochet including the fake double crochet. Now on the fourth stitch, it's in a white color, meaning you're going to chain 1 and skip. Now chain 1 and this is the stitch that we have to skip, and in number 5 we have to make 1 double crochet since it's in a pink color, so skip this stitch which is number 4 on the chart. Then in the next stitch make 1 double crochet. Then on number 6 it's in a white color, so chain 1 and you're going to skip this stitch. Then on number 7 we have 1 double crochet, so skip this stitch and make 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Including number 7 we have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 double crochet. So just continue making the double crochet until we have a total of 6 double crochet. So this is my first double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have 6 double crochet with me. Then we have chain 1 and skip. So chain 1 and we're going to skip the next stitch. Then starting from 14 to 19, we have to make a total of 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so 6 double crochet. So skip this stitch and start making 6 double crochet from the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you will notice from the chart that the pattern is repetitive, so just continue this pattern which is written on the screen for 5 more times. Then at the end you will be left with 13 stitches to work on, and we're going to do that together. I have 13 stitches left with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And there is our slip stitch, so we're going to ignore that. You will notice that it will always be 1 gap, then 2 gap, then 1 gap again. So this is the 1 gap and then 2 gap. So we should make 2 gap in the next stitch. So chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip and then insert your hook into the next stitch and make 1 double crochet. And again chain 1 and skip the next stitch. Then start from the next stitch and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then chain 1 and skip. Now skip and we're going to insert 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to insert a slip stitch into your first stitch, which is your fake double crochet or your chain 3. So I am using the fake double crochet, so insert your hook into the V shape that you have on top of the fake double crochet and make your slip stitch. And if you are using the chain 3 method, go ahead and insert your hook into your chain 3 and then make a slip stitch. Usually slip stitch is visible on our projects and I don't like the look of it, so I will always pull the loop like this and tighten up the slip stitch to make it appear smaller so it's unnoticeable. So this is how your round 1 for the diamond pattern is going to look like. You will always have 2 gaps, 1 gap, and then 2 gaps and 1 gap, and it's going to be like that until the end. Now we're going to move on to round 2. You can always mark the slip stitch so that you know that it's not a stitch that you're supposed to work on, but you will just ignore it. Now we're going to make the first stitch, so go ahead and make a fake double crochet or chain 3. And remember, if you make the chain 3, you have to ignore the first stitch and just continue in the second stitch. You can always mark the first stitch so that you know when each round starts and ends. Now make 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. Then your next stitch is going to be a gap here, so just insert your hook through the gap and make 1 double crochet. Then continue making 2 more double crochet, so you have a total of 3 double crochet, 2, and then the third double crochet into the gap. So now we are done with 3 double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch. And we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 double crochet. So skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and start making 11 double crochet. So that is my first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, and now insert the hook into the gap and make 1 double crochet. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. This is the pattern that you're going to repeat for 5 more times, and you're going to be left with 14 stitches left at the end. Now I have 14 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So first, you're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch and make 3 double crochet. Skip and insert your hook into the gap and start making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then chain 1. Then skip the next stitch and make 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is the stitch marker for a slip stitch, which you have to ignore. For this round, I use a chain 3 method just so that I can show you how it would look like when using chain 3 method. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and this is the chain 3 starting from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. On top of the third chain, you can see we have this V shape, and you have to insert your hook into the V shape and make a slip stitch. Then pull the loop to tighten up the slip stitch. For those who is always confused where your slip stitch and first stitch is, you can always use a stitch marker. So this is how your work will look like if you use the chain 3 method. You can see that there is a little gap there, which is why I don't recommend it. But since the fake double crochet is hard for some people, so they will use the chain 3 method. It will leave a little gap here, which I don't really like, which is why the fake double crochet is better to make this bag. Now moving on to round 3, make a chain 3 or fake double crochet for your first stitch. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, insert your hook through the gap and continue making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and start making 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is the pattern that you will repeat for 5 more times. You will be left with 15 stitches at the end, which I'm going to show you these steps. Now I have 15 stitches left, and first you're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch right here and insert your hook into the gap, which is going to be your next stitch, and make 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. Skip and insert the hook into the next and continue making 8 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is the stitch marker for slip stitch, so we're going to ignore it. Then in the first stitch, which is your chain 3 or fake double crochet, insert a slip stitch. And then pull up your loop to tighten up the slip stitch. You can see that the diamond pattern is starting to build up. For round 4, you will notice that the first stitch is going sideways. So whenever the first stitch going sideways like this, you will always start your chain 3 or fake double crochet into the second stitch. And later on, in your last stitch, you're going to make up the first stitch that you skipped by chaining 1. The last stitch is always going to be chain 1, since the reason the first stitch is going sideways is because we cannot do a chain 1 and skip as our first stitch of the round. If you are doing the chain 3 method, you will have to make a slip stitch into the second stitch, which is the gap, as you want to make your first double crochet into the second stitch, just like the chart. Then chain 3. So this is going to be your first double crochet for round 4. Then for those who use the fake double crochet method, just skip the first stitch and insert 1 double crochet into the second stitch, which is the gap. So insert your hook into the gap and make a fake double crochet. So now this is going to be my first stitch for round 4, and I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker. Then continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then insert your hook into the next and continue making 7 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is the pattern that you're going to repeat for 12 more times, and for the last one I will be showing you how to do it. So this is my last chain 1 and skip and 7 double crochet. So chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert the hook into the next and continue making 7 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we have to make a chain 1 to make up the stitch that we skipped earlier in the round, and as I said, whenever your first stitch is going sideways like round 4 on the chart, your last stitch is always going to be a chain 1, as we cannot do a chain 1 and skip as our first stitch. So go ahead and make your chain 1 and then slip stitch into the first stitch, which is your fake double crochet or your chain 3. and then I'm just going to tighten up my slip stitch. Now moving on to round 5, go ahead and make a chain 3 or a fake double crochet. After that, we are going to continue by making 7 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip and insert your hook into the next and continue making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then just insert your hook into the gap and then continue making 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that is the pattern that you will have to repeat for 5 more times. And at the end, you will be left with 8 stitches to work on, and we're going to do that together. I am now left with 8 stitches, and now we're going to continue by making a chain 1, then skip the next stitch, then continue making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and in the next make 1 double crochet. Then finish this round by making a slip stitch into your first stitch of this round, which is going to be your chain 3 or fake double crochet. Now on round 6, just do the chain 3 or fake double crochet as our first stitch, just like we did before. Then continue making 8 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip and insert your hook into the next and continue making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then continue making 11 double crochet starting from the gap right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now repeat this pattern for 5 more times. At the end, you will have 7 stitches left. Now I have 7 stitches left. So first, we're going to do a chain 1 and skip. And then you're going to continue making 3 double crochet into the next. 1, 2, and 3. And then chain 1 and skip again. And then skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the gap and start making 2 double crochet. 1, and then insert your hook into the last stitch and make 1 more double crochet. Now insert a slip stitch into your first stitch, which is your fake double crochet or chain 3. So now we are done with round 6. Now moving on to round 7. First, make a chain 3 or fake double crochet as your first stitch. Then we have to do 2 double crochet. So go ahead and insert 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. And then we're going to continue by making a chain 1. And then we're going to skip this stitch right here and then insert your hook into the next and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch right here and insert your hook into the next and make 1 double crochet. And then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the gap and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is the pattern that you're going to repeat for 5 more times. At the end, you will be left with 13 stitches. Now I am left with 13 stitches left. So first we're going to do a chain 1 and then we're going to skip the next stitch and continue inserting your hook into the next and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then again chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then make 1 double crochet and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and continue making 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. So finish this round by making a slip stitch into your first stitch, which is your fake double crochet or your chain 3. Now moving on to round 8. So first make a chain 3 or a fake double crochet as your first stitch. And then you're going to insert 1 double crochet into the next. So 1 double crochet and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch right here and insert your hook into the gap and make 1 double crochet. And then go ahead and chain 1 and skip the next stitch and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip this stitch, and then insert your hook into the next stitch and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So go ahead and repeat this step for 5 more times. Now I am left with 14 stitches. So first we're going to chain 1 and skip this stitch, and then make 1 double crochet into the next, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and start from the gap, make 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm just going to remove all of the stitch marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch, which is going to be your fake double crochet or chain 3, and pull the loop to tighten up the slip stitch. So now as you can see, the diamond shape is really starting to build up. You can really see it and it looks really pretty. So now moving on to round 9, go ahead and make a chain 3 or a fake double crochet into the first stitch, just like how we usually do it. And then in these 2 stitches, insert 1 double crochet. So 1 and 2, and then chain 1 and skip this stitch, which is the next stitch, and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip, and then insert your hook into the gap and make 1 double crochet. And then chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is going to be the pattern that you are going to repeat for 5 more times. So now we have 13 stitches left. So first we're going to do a chain 1 and skip. So we're going to skip this stitch and insert your hook into the next and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 again and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next, which is the gap right there, and make 1 double crochet. then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and start making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And again, we're going to finish this round by making a slip stitch into our first stitch. Now we are on round 10, so first go ahead and make your fake double crochet or your chain 3. So this is going to be your first stitch. Now go ahead and continue making 8 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to chain 1 and skip this next stitch and continue into the gap and make 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. Now chain 1 and skip, and then go ahead and insert your hook into the next and continue making 11 double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So go ahead and repeat this pattern for 5 more times. Now I have 7 stitches left, so first chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and continue making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. To start, we're going to do a slip knot. Hold onto the end of your yarn and wrap it around your index finger. 1 and 2. Then again, finish this round by making a slip stitch into your first stitch of this round. Now on round 11, again start by making a fake double crochet or chain 3. And then continue making 7 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip and insert your hook into the next and continue making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and continue in the next and then make 9 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So go ahead and repeat this pattern for 5 more times. Now I have 8 stitches left. So first we're going to do a chain 1, and then we're going to skip this next stitch and insert the hook into the next stitch and start making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch, which is here, and insert the hook into the next and make 1 double crochet. And now finish off this round by making a slip stitch into your fake double crochet or chain 3, which is going to be your first stitch. Now we're going to move on to round 12. First, we are going to do a chain 3 or a fake double crochet. And then we're going to continue by making 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch. So skip and insert your hook into the next and start making 7 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you're going to repeat this step for 12 more times, and at the end you're going to be left with 1 stitches left. Once you are done with the 1 stitches left, you're just going to make a chain 1 and skip the next stitch. Then you're going to make a slip stitch into the first stitch. So that's it for round 12. Starting from round 13 to our last round, which is round 18, the first stitch is going sideways like this, which means we will have to skip the first stitch of every round and start in the second stitch instead, just like how we did it on round 4. So our last stitch is always going to be a chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skip. The reason why the first stitch is going sideways instead of just straight up is because we cannot do chain 1 and skip as our first stitch. For those who use the chain 3 method, go ahead and make a slip stitch into your second stitch, then chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Then just continue with the rest of the patterns. Then for the fake double crochet, just skip the first stitch and make your fake double crochet into the second stitch. So go ahead and insert your hook into the second stitch to make your fake double crochet. So please remember these steps, as this is how you're going to do it until round 18. Now we're going to continue by making 4 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to chain 1 and then skip the next stitch, which is here, and insert your hook into the gap and start making 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and continue in the next and then make 5 double crochet. So skip and insert your hook into the next and make 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're going to repeat this pattern for 5 more times. Now I am left with 11 stitches, so first you're going to chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and then insert the hook into the next and start making 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now remember that we skipped a stitch earlier in the round, so we're going to make it up by chaining 1 and then make a slip stitch into your first stitch. Now on round 14, we're going to start by making a chain 3 or a fake double crochet into your second stitch just like usual. And now we're going to continue by making 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Now go ahead and chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then insert your hook into the next and continue making 11 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now go ahead and chain 1 and skip the next stitch. Then continue making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So now go ahead and repeat these patterns for 5 more times. Now with 13 stitches left, we're going to start by making a chain 1, then skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and continue making 11 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now go ahead and chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skipped earlier in the round. So chain 1, then make a slip stitch into your first stitch, which is your fake double crochet or your chain 3. Now on round 15, it's going to be the same step again, so chain 3 or make a fake double crochet into your second stitch. Then you're going to continue by making a chain 1. So you're going to skip the next stitch and then insert your hook into the gap, which is going to be your next stitch, and then continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and then insert your hook into the next and continue making 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and make 1 double crochet. So this is going to be the patterns that you're going to repeat for 5 more times. Now I am left with 15 stitches, so we're going to go ahead and make a chain 1 first and then skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next and continue making 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and continue in the next and continue making 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then insert your hook into the gap, and 6. Now we're going to chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skipped earlier in the round, and then finish this round by making a slip stitch into the first stitch. Now moving on to round 16, you're going to skip the first stitch and insert your hook into the second stitch and make a fake double crochet or a chain 3. I'm going to insert my hook into the gap, which is the second stitch, and make a fake double crochet. Then we're going to continue by making 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert the hook into the gap and make 1 double crochet. Then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then continue making 6 double crochet. So skip and insert your hook into the next and make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then again, chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next stitch and continue making 6 double crochet again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So continue these patterns for 5 more times. Now I am left with 9 stitches. So first we're going to chain 1 and then you're going to skip the next stitch and continue making 1 double crochet into the gap. So 1 and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and insert your hook into the next, and then make 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skipped earlier in the round, and now just make a slip stitch to finish off this round. Now moving on to round 17, again make a fake double crochet or a chain 3 into your second stitch, and then continue making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1 and then skip the next stitch and continue making 6 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then insert 1 double crochet into the next. And then chain 1 again and skip the next stitch and then continue making 6 double crochet. So skip and insert your hook into the next and then make 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So again, you're going to continue this step for 5 more times. With 9 stitches left, first you're going to make a chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then continue making 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch right here and insert your hook into the gap, which is going to be our next stitch, and make 1 double crochet. Then just chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skipped earlier in the round, and then go ahead and finish this round by making a slip stitch into your first stitch. So now this is going to be our last round before we do the strap, so go ahead and insert a fake double crochet or a chain 3 into your second stitch. Then continue by making 10 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch, which is right here, and insert your hook into the next and continue making 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1 and skip the next stitch and continue making 11 double crochet. So skip and insert your hook into the next and start making 11 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now go ahead and repeat this pattern for 5 more times. Now with 4 stitches left, go ahead and chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then insert your hook into the next and continue making 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1 to make up the first stitch that we skipped earlier in the round. So go ahead and finish this round by making a slip stitch into your first stitch. So this is how the front of your bag should looks like. You should have 3 diamonds at the front, and this is the back. You should have 4 diamond shape at the back. So this is the measurement for the bag. The width is about 24 centimeters and the length is 35 centimeters. To finish all of this, just make a chain 1 and cut it. Then pull through and tighten the chain 1 to the back to lock your project. It's really important that you know which one is the front and the back of your bag, as we have to mark the top stitches to make the straps. Just as I said before, you will have 3 diamond shapes at the front of your bag. As for the back side, you will have 4 diamond shapes. We're going to start marking at the front side, so you will have to find the middle of your bag, and this is going to be the middle, the one that have 3 double crochet here. Now starting from the center right here, we're going to count 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then mark the 6th stitch with a stitch marker. Then again, starting from the middle, count 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you will have to mark the 8th stitch. So from the left stitch marker until the right stitch marker, you will have a total of 13 stitches. Now onto the back side, again you will have to find the middle. This is going to be the middle of the bag. Just use the one gap that we have right here as our guide. So starting from the middle to the right, count 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then mark this 6th stitch. And then starting from the middle to the left, count 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and mark the 8th stitch. You will also have a total of 13 stitches from the left stitch marker to the right. The tutorial for the straps will be in the part 2 on my YouTube channel, and I also link it down below on the description box. I'm sorry that I have to do a part 2 because the video may take up to 2 hours, so I have no choice but to do a part 2. So see you on part 2.